What is up, guys? Your homeboy Daniel from Tiny Studio Production. Today in the house as co-host, we got the beautiful Asia Walters,
What's up?
the beautiful Rini,
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
and today in the house we got Joshua Kennedy, man of the arts.
Josh Kennedy.
The beautiful Josh Kennedy.
The
man.
beautiful, my bad brother. The only one that could rock top hats like me.
Exactly.
Thank you for having me. I'm having a great time.
Thank you, bro. So how was the drive over here, bro?
Drive was nice. Just got in the car and drove over here, and it was nice.
Awesome.
No traffic.
No traffic, and it was very easy. It was such like it was on the Google Maps. It was just line expressway, and you basically a straight shot from the expressway. So I was like, okay, cool.
Cool. So me and Asia are gonna be going back and forth on questions. So Asia, you have the floor.
As a kid, what were you into?
As a kid, oh man, I was very blessed to have two very supportive parents, very creative parents, and I mean, my mom introduced me to Star Wars at age 3 or 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Very nerdy parents. My dad sat me down and we watched the 10 Commandments with Charlton Heston at age 3. Get this, at age 3, and it was a 2 VHS set.
Wow.
And the story is that we watched part 1, he went to the bathroom, and me at age 3 took part 1 out of the TV and put part 2 in to watch the second half. So,
Awesome.
yes, larger than life movies, spectacles, Star Wars, 10 Commandments, Dracula, Frankenstein, all the old monsters really got into. And I have to thank my parents for recommending those films. Yeah.
That's so awesome.
That's crazy. Now I see how you get a lot of that influence. You know.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Badass, bro. How long have you been filming?
Well, funny enough, I made my first movie when I was 5 years old.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I'd love to see that.
Bro, me and Rennie were freaking out with him learning the violin at 4.
Oh yeah, yes.
Now you're saying you made a movie at 5.
I made a movie. I what the hell? I took my family's vacation camera, like when you go to Disney World and we have the camera to film vacations, go to the beach, go to South Padre, film the family thing, and I kind of hijacked that
I love it.
and
Hell yeah.
put these little toy soldiers that I had around my toilet in the bathroom, and it was this monster that came out of the toilet and attacked all of the little soldiers.
Oh my God.
And it was called It Came from the Bathroom. And that was my first movie.
That's cute.
So you still have it?
Oh yes. Very few people have seen it. Those who have all mysteriously died. No, they are no longer with us. No, it's fun. I mean, it's kind of, I have to like do a commentary while people watch it to explain what's going on.
Was there any shitty situations
Yeah.
in the filming?
It was a very clean movie, very clean. But it's all the little toy soldiers and then this giant tennis ball. That was the monster. And again, all of the monster effects are in my head as I'm narrating it as a little kid. And I was like, and then the monster came out of the toilet and attacked the soldiers. And it's like, if you don't know what's going on, you're kind of like, what the hell is this? But yeah, that was my first movie.
That's awesome, bro. How like the whole like voiceovers with the toys.
Yes.
That's I've always thought of doing like a stereotypical Valley like puppets.
Oh, okay.
You know, with green screen. I think that'd be funny, man. Like, but you did it at 5 years old. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a loon.
I'm still freaking out with that. Like, damn, you're a genius, man.
Oh well, thanks. I wouldn't say that, but thank you though.
So, favorite location that you've filmed so far from all the movies that you've done?
Oh, I have come to really appreciate what we have here in the valley, because we kind of have everything. We have the beach. You drive that way. You drive the other way, and you get desert. You get kind of like a forest feel in like the Santana Wildlife Refuge, and I've come to, and then you're at the beach and you turn around and you just film the dunes, and you have, sand dunes of ancient Egypt for a mummy movie. So,
Oh wow.
Bro,
so
that's-
right.
it's people. I really. It irks me when filmmakers down here, they're like, we don't have anything here. I was like, we have everything. We have so much here.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I mean, I've really come to really love the valley and the locations we have here. I don't know if that's a lame answer.
Bro, no,
I
no,
love
bro.
it. I
But
know,
I- but
I
I-
know everybody talks crap about the valley, but I like it. I've learned to love it too.
Yeah.
Bro, so I got a few friends that they dab at the videography, right? And
Yeah.
for a couple of years, we've always thought like, how can we do it? How can we do it? The whole filming thing, right? So me, like, seeing your films, like, it really inspired me because I'm like, at the location that you're at, you know, like, you're working with what you got from, you know, like, the people around you, you know, like the budget, everything, and you're making shit happen, you know?
Well,
So I think that's amazing, and how you bring up how you're passing by the beach and you're already envisioning, you know, like a certain scene.
yes.
I get that from like doing photography, like, oh, this would be a badass spot to, you know, like, you know, shoot someone. So like you make the most out of one spot, you know what I mean? So I think that's amazing, bro. Like I feel like what you're doing is like, I've seen other films down here, and you know, I'm not throwing dirt at anybody, but the way your films made me feel, like it made me feel like a kid again. It's kind of like when I was watching Goosebumps, you know, Are You Afraid of the Dark, even that Stranger Things vibe, you know what I mean? Like I get that all from you, you know, like I get the Doctor Who, I get Supernatural, I get just different, you know, like nostalgia, you know.
Thank you.
And I
Thank you.
think don't give up, man. Like just keep doing what you're doing because it's amazing, bro, for real.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. There's so many trolls out there every once in a while that'll message me and it's like, what a piece of crap you're doing. So to hear nice things, that's I really do appreciate that.
They're just jealous. They're just jealous. Did you watch a lot of movies growing up?
Oh yes. Total movie nerd. Like I had mentioned, Ten Commandments and Star Wars and all the old monsters, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Phantom of the Opera. Oh man, I mean that's
All VHS?
all VHS. And then slowly DVD came in, and for a long time I was like, I'm not buying DVD because I'm Team VHS.
Yeah.
And then now it's Blu-ray. Now we're at 4K, and now they're talking about doing 8K.
Yeah.
I
But
wonder what that's gonna be. It's like you can touch them.
well, a friend of mine. It was funny. I was talking to my buddy Brian, and he said the next step that he thinks is the what is it when you put the mask on and you
Or like VR.
yes, but it would be a movie, like an old movie VR, and you would be in the scene with the Godfather or something, and he'd be talking to you. And I was like, whoa, that's
crazy.
that's the next step,
that's
right?
crazy.
My son has VR, right? And
Is he addicted?
not really, but when he first got it, he kind of was. And he had me watch a scary one.
Oh yeah.
Of it. And
Oh,
man,
yes.
I was spooked, bro. Like, I don't like watching those things. I can't do it. It felt real.
Well, because it messes with your mind, and it's the sound effects that are surround sound, and you're oh yeah.
I hated it. I was like, and he wouldn't let me take it off.
Get it off!
Yeah, he was like torturing me.
Dude, I've seen that on social media where like there's VR where people get so into that they'll fall on the floor. Like
Yes.
it's that realistically.
And that's where we're at now. Can you imagine in 5 years, like what the technology is going to update? It's going to be crazy.
People are gonna have girlfriends as AIs with VR. And
They're
stuff.
already doing it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. No, I'm kidding.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If you could have a superpower, but it had to be kind of useless, what would it be?
A useless superpower. Oh, that's a really good one. Can you hear me when I turn my head this way?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Of course.
A useless superpower. Holy smokes. Maybe being able to go to sleep and put a book under my pillow and just be able to read it overnight.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I mean, I guess that's kind of, you get use out of that, right? But
Get a bigger brain.
yeah.
A bigger vocabulary.
Just getting the information in your,
Right.
while you sleep in your head.
I mean, it's for like school for student. It's like I need to read the book over, and it's like, boop, I got it. I need to know math. Boop.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Why? What's yours? Do you got one for you?
no. It's
Yeah.
just,
Oh, okay.
Are you
I just thought that
Bro,
would be a cool
so
question.
Where do
That's a
you
great
get your
question.
Where do you get your background music from and the effects from your film?
Background music. I've been very fortunate. Okay, so for years, for many years, I had to use public domain music. It was a lot of. I would be listening to a lot of classical music because that's public domain, meaning I can use it without any
Royalty-free?
copyright. Yeah, royalty-free stuff. So I would listen to Mozart and Wagner, and I would end up. A lot of my earlier films have a lot of classical music because it was free music to use. I've been very fortunate to make friends with a composer named Reber Clark. Fantastic guy who lives in Chicago, outside Chicago. And we hit it off some films ago, and he's been writing music for my films ever since.
So on one of your films, the Innsmouth School of Girls,
Yeah.
when she's walking into, like in the beginning, and she's talking to the instructor, and there's some classical music playing in the background.
Yes.
Was that your friend, or was that a royalty-free song?
The music
classical?
on the record player.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's old Mozart. That's public domain.
Nice,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
When you say public domain, that means like you
Free
won't get
use.
flagged.
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, it's like any. I don't know what the copyright laws is. I think it's as soon as the composer dies, you give them 100 years, and then whatever their work is, it's public domain. So Mozart's been dead for, you know.
And I also hear that you could recreate music once 10 years pass.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I just
Oh.
heard that from one of my producer friends.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, that was Mozart. I'm sure in that scene.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
What's your favorite genre of movies?
My favorite genre of movies. Porn. No. I don't know. Is that allowed to be said?
Yeah, bro.
Of course, you can-
Bro, I was gonna ask you, like, at age 5, were you the one that filmed the Pamela Anderson porno?
That was me. I'm finally coming out and admitting that it was me. I am sorry, guys. Can you imagine?
So funny.
Babella.
Favorite genre? I love old horror films, and there's like I can do the slashers and stuff, but some of the slashers get tiring after a while. I mean, how many times are we gonna stab the woman in the shower? I have nothing against shower scenes at all, but like this old fantasy type, the Draculas, the Frankensteins, where there's some imagination and creativity and the atmosphere of the castle and the laboratory, the mummy. I really like those. So classic horror, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
genre. Yeah.
I think nowadays I think it's more difficult for horror films to recreate something that's already been done. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think what's more scary now, it's like realistic shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
someone getting chased and like, you know, like or kidnapped. You know what I mean? Instead of like something, you know, like.
Well, and there's like an element of, and I'm sure you guys can understand this. Once you see a horror movie or something that scares you, you're not scared of it anymore. It's like, okay, so what's the next thing? And I think horror as a genre constantly has to top itself.
Yeah.
So you can't really have, you know, the goofy castle and the goofy I am Count Dracula, the Bela Lugosi Transylvanian accent, because people laugh at that now. It's not, people back then thought it was scary, but now it's like, all right, what are you gonna do now that's gonna be creepier?
The Human Centipede.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Yeah.
that's a perfect example where it's like,
Oh my
okay,
God,
how do we
that
keep
movie's crazy.
how do we keep topping it? And then it's like, okay, Human Centipede 2. How do we top the first one? Then Human
I haven't
Centipede
watched
3.
any of them.
Oh, it's- yeah, they're.
So
I
you've
did-
seen them?
I've seen pieces, and I was like, I think that's enough.
Yeah.
Even
but-
I will say to the Saw movies, the first
Oh, I was
Saw.
about to tell you that.
I really enjoyed the first Saw, and then I can't say that I've seen, but I know after the first one they're gonna just try and keep topping it, and they're gonna get more brutal and more brutal. The first one I
Yeah.
thought was brilliant.
Did you watch Hostel?
No, see that that was like, all right, I
Yeah.
those are
I did, I've
intense.
seen
Yeah.
them. They are hardcore.
Those are the gory ones.
Yeah.
The Rob Zombie has some.
Oh yeah. House of a Thousand Corpses, right?
Yes.
That one's really good.
Yeah.
That one's good.
Bro, so I'm gonna get technical on you.
Let's do it.
What lens, microphones, cameras, lighting do you use for your films?
That's top secret information.
I understand, but if
No,
there's
no,
anything,
no.
if there's anything you want to share, like, you know what I mean?
No. Are you kidding? I was just kidding. I've been, and again, it's what you grow up using that you're just familiar with. So I've always been a Canon guy. So my weapon of choice for the past few films has been the Canon 70D. Just because that's what I was given as a birthday present by my dad.
Is that a full frame?
Yes. And the lens is an 18 to 135 millimeter. It's a zoom lens.
What's the aperture on that?
I'm not sure on that. It's the one that comes. I mean, it's all lame. It's the one that comes with the camera.
Yeah. No, because I was watching, going back to the movie.
Yeah.
The what do you call it? The Innsmouth School of Girls.
Mm-hmm.
When she's in the intro, as going back to that, when it's at night.
Yes. I
noticed that it's very clean, the low lighting.
Yes.
So I'm like,
it has wonderful low lighting.
For that you gotta have a full frame camera or like a 1.4 aperture lens, because that's the challenge when it comes to videography. Like,
absolutely,
you gotta have that, because if not, it's gonna look really grainy.
Well, thank you. You're the first one to bring that up. So thanks.
So it's really cool. Clean, bro.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Thank you.
What about like lighting? Do you use bow and mount lights or?
What is the name of they're
Godox?
No, it's the
Newer.
Yes, newer. The block, the square lights.
Yeah.
Those I use. I've been actually shooting. Mantipus is the one that I'm working on right now. Half man, half octopus, of course.
Nice.
And
is that the one that I haven't seen it or no? That's a different movie.
That's you're gonna be in Mantipus eventually. I do need you in Mantipus.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. So then this is like something else.
Well, Mantipus, I'm actually shooting on film, on 16 millimeter film,
Okay.
and for that one you need very heavy duties, 300 watt tungsten lights and 600 lights. But for Innsmouth, luckily it's digital, so you can use very little lighting, soft lighting. But,
bro, so if you're down, I did this once with Valdemar, First Class Cinema. He's a he does film as well.
Yeah.
We did a podcast on Zoom with a lot of the cast. But if there's ever like a day where like you have the whole cast and you want to do a podcast, I have all my stuff on the go. So
cool, yeah.
We could brainstorm the topics, questions, and all that.
For sure, yes.
That'd be something for promo and all that.
Yes. Well, Asia was in Innsmouth School for Girls, so.
Yeah,
she was
cool.
Yeah.
I was nervous. I was like, I don't know about like too many lines, like, but like I don't know.
You're very natural on screen.
Really?
Yeah.
But you stood out, dude. You stood out from everybody.
Because you know me. Yeah, no.
Your check's in the mail.
Yeah, no. I mean, I kind of just want to keep doing it. I mean, anything helps.
Yeah.
I mean, even this podcasting stuff is like, it was a little weird at first.
But you
get used to it, yeah.
I'm getting used to it.
It's repetition, dude, with everything.
Mm-hmm.
How many external hard drives do you use to back up all your footage?
That's such a great question. I've never been asked that, and I always think about that. I was like, am I the only one who has this many? I mean, right now I have like 5 on my desk just for this current project, and then there's
damn.
Yeah.
How many terabytes each?
8 terabytes. Each one.
Oh, so you have like backups.
Oh yeah. Well, and I had, because I learned this the hard way. I was doing the Slave Girls on the Moon in New York City, and the hard drive failed me.
Ooh.
And so and I was like, you know what, I will never have this happen. I didn't have any backup. Luckily I was able to, there was a hard drive recovery company that saved most of the footage.
It's expensive to do that though, right?
Dude, it's really,
imagine,
put a hole in my budget for for a year there. But it was worth it because they got the important stuff. I mean, we were like 75% done with the film. We would have to redo everything. But so I learned the hard way. I was like, make sure to have backups.
Wow.
You were right over here?
Yeah.
I know it's very emotional talking about hard drives.
No, bro, I've learned that too, bro. Like how you always have to have a backup. You know, sometimes even a backup of all your stuff. You know.
And it's just the backup of the backup just makes me feel better. It's like I know that it's safe. And I don't have to worry about it. Have you ever had that happen to you?
Bro, yes. That's why after a while, like, I'm not gonna say what kind of content I have on my hard drives, right? But
Porn.
for years, I had a lot of stuff, you know, and what I would do is I I have a lot of geek friends too, so I'll be, hey, bring your hard drive. I would hook it up.
Yeah.
So now, like, I'm not just hooking them up. Now they're my backup too. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I've had that already. Like, I have like probably like around the same, maybe like 12 hard drives.
Oh yeah.
16 gigs, 8 terabytes too. Like,
Nice.
I have a lot of stuff, man. So
Well, when you're content producing, you want to keep everything because you don't
Yeah.
want to throw anything out or delete anything.
At what age did you discover you were into film?
Oh,
I know you said at 5, right?
5, yeah.
years
So
old.
3 to 5
3 to
is
5.
me obsessed with movies. I made my first real feature at 15. It was a sophomore in high school, and that was like that's my first real. Other stuff was like with grandma and grandpa, and here dad put a fake knife in your chest, and it's like little things like that. But I think 15 was Attack of the Octopus People. Wow, what a surprise! And that was my first real movie.
Oh wow. So at
real,
15,
right? Yeah.
that's pretty major.
bro, what's the hardest process in this? Like, is it scouting the people? Is having the people memorize lines? Is it the locations? Like the editing? To you, what's like the hardest challenge?
For me, it's always been, and especially with like low budget filmmaking, it's scheduling. I think scheduling with people has always been, especially when you have, just like in Smith School for Girls, you have 15 girls, and they're
Girls
they're
are always
volunteering their time.
cast.
They have families, they got sons, daughters, they have jobs, and it's like getting them all together to do one scene. And then some are running late, and some I can't make it because I have COVID, and it's like
Oh yes, this was around COVID.
yeah. That's
I liked it. I liked it, like, to get out of the house.
oh good.
I was like, I want to do this. Like, it was cool. And then I think, like, I don't know, it was just a nice experience,
Good, I'm glad. At the end of the day, like, we can make a good movie, we can make an okay movie. It's like, I just hope that the experience is fun for everyone, because I've had terrible experiences making some movies, and then the movie doesn't come out that well, and it's like, oh, well, then what was the point? We wasted 6 months of our lives on this terrible movie, and this movie's terrible, and it's like, oh, what a waste. So I've learned the experience making the movie should take precedent.
Did you go to school to be a film director?
I went to Pace University in New York City and got my degree in film. Learned absolutely nothing. No, I'm kidding. A lot of good it did you.
Yeah, man.
No, it was fun. Met some very wonderful teachers and actors and actresses. The cool thing is Pace has an acting school. So it was just like, who wants to be in a movie? They want to be in movies. I want to make movies. It was such a great collaboration. But yeah, and just being in New York City.
Did you network? Did you save any contacts going over there?
Yes, I mean, I still talk with a bunch of the actors and actresses that are there, and my professors too. Funny enough, they're still good friends.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bro, so do you use makeup, artists or do you have like makeup people for your like non-human characters in your movies?
Oh, my non-human characters.
Yeah. Or it's all masks?
Well,
or-
it's funny. My good friend Danny Garcia. She's. It's funny. We went to high school together, and she does the bulk of the makeup. And she did a lot of the effects for the fish people in Smith School for Girls. She's brilliant. But the masks for Innsmouth and for Mantipus are done by this guy named Mitch Gonzalez. Mitch, if you're listening, God bless you. He's another guy who lives in Chicago. He's outside Chicago, and he sculpts and does it all by hand. Sculpts the mask and then does the rubber casts. He's terrific, and I want to keep working with him. He's great.
Bro, I got the creeps with like the lunch lady in the movie because obviously like the skin on the face.
Oh yes,
and then the slimy sound. I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
All right, success.
Yeah.
I'll have to tell her you said that. Because it's one of those things that, I mean, I'm sure when you film your stuff, it's like, is this even working? And to hear that it's like, oh, that was creepy. I'm like, yes, okay, it worked. Success.
That's what I was talking about. How like there's a lot of people who do films, but I got multiple emotions and reactions from your film. You know what I mean? And just by getting that, you get drawn into the film, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it got me curious. I'm like, shit, what else does he got? So, like I said, I was watching the other one, and I like how you switch it up from like schoolgirl horror to like mythology. You know what I mean?
Oh yes,
and it's
Theseus,
like,
yeah.
like I said, it reminds me of like episodes of Doctor Who, and like, you know. So I'm excited, man. I'm very excited to see what you got coming next. You know.
Thank you.
As far as software, what video editing software do you use?
Well, I was taught in high school on Final Cut Pro, so I always have a soft spot for Final Cut Pro. I think it's Final Cut X now. I think it's it used to be 7, and they switched it to 10. But really, for anyone listening to that feels, you know, they want to do filmmaking on their own, any software is going to do the same thing, basically. I mean, it's just more bells and whistles, obviously. But I've seen movies. Attack the Octopus People. My first movie was edited on Windows Movie Maker.
Oh,
like
nice.
The bottom of the
Damn,
bottom.
bro.
And I know.
Yeah, it's old school, bro.
Old school. Windows Movie Maker, and it would crash every 5 minutes because it was just too much. And I did the whole movie on it.
So on the sound, do you use boom mics or lavaliers or?
I like the boom mics. And I also have it's a Tascam external audio recorder. Usually, I mean, you're supposed to do it for.
Actually, you want
Do
to
you have
give me that, Isha? No, well, this is the latest one I got. This is what I use for my podcast on the go.
Oh yeah.
It's a
Oh,
soundboard.
dude, yes, cool.
And it's got a phantom powered for mic input for headphones.
Damn.
So that's what I used to. That's what I'm saying. If I ever go to you, we do a podcast.
Yes.
I'll use one channel XLR with 4 lavalier mics, wireless. So I got a
Heck
total
yeah.
of 8 lavalier mics. So
Damn, you're the man.
Dan the man.
no, if you ever need help on sound, bro, you know I got you. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry, Asia. I know I'm real fangirl right now. You know. With I'm hugging the question.
No, you're good. You're
Can I ask a
good.
question?
No.
No, he's mine.
You make me feel like the third wheel. Okay, I had it right now. What's one book and or movie that profoundly changed your perspective?
Oh,
Wow,
snap.
good question. Bro.
Damn, that is a good question.
Real deep.
What book or what? Or movie?
A book or movie that profoundly changed your perspective.
Perspective on anything?
Yes.
Wow. I'm trying to sound smart. I'm trying to like pick something that sounds smart.
are
While you
smart.
think, I'll tell you like what changed me in music. It was when I started production. What inspired me was Calvin Harris, because he does not only production but he sings on his vocals. So and then it was FKJ, which he's a French producer.
Okay.
And then also like musically, the Doors, bro. Like I went through the Doors phase. Like
Really?
yeah, and yeah, that's just my
Was
take
it-
on
You
the
dropped
sound.
acid and
Huh?
stuff?
The what?
Did you drop acid?
Did I what?
Drop acid.
Chinga. Nah, I smoked, but that was it. Like,
Was there a moment with the Doors where you're like, I get it, or was it like just a gradual?
Oh, and then I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, bro, the Beatles too. Like,
Oh, of course, yeah.
so going back to that, like, on you, what was it with you with the?
One that comes to mind is I don't know if you guys have ever seen any old silent movies. Like there's the old like Charlie Chaplin like black and white like ding, 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 ding. There's no sound because they didn't have sound back in the
I've
day.
seen only like clips of it.
Yeah.
I've seen clips of those. What you talking about?
And I always just thought of silent films as that. It's like, oh, they're goofy, they're you know ridiculous, they're old, they won't make an impact on me. There's this French film called Napoleon. That I was like, I'll freaking watch it. It's like 5.5 hours long. And I watched it over the course of a few nights. I wasn't going to sit down and watch all 5 hours. But that movie was such, I hate to say, a spiritual experience. Like that, by the end, I was sobbing. It was such a powerful movie. And without dialogue, it's just pure images. And there's text, obviously. But that was such a crazy... It made me rethink movies. And it's like, oh, if this movie from 100 years ago can affect me in such a profound way, then you know me now I can affect people in that. So it was such a moving experience, and I wrote it in my calendar. I was like, Napoleon Day, like that blew my mind.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, changed a lot of perspectives.
Is that the same as, I know there's a movie on Netflix called Napoleon. It's like a French guy or something. Is that the same?
I don't know if it's on Netflix. It might. I mean, because there's been so many Napoleon movies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they just did the Joaquin Phoenix one. Yeah, this one's from 1926, 27. Oh man, it blew my mind. Blew my freaking mind. Sorry to be all nerdy. It's a silent movie, guys.
No,
No dialogue. That's crazy, dude.
Hey,
Like,
what-
I've never seen a movie with no
Was
dialogue.
Psycho? It was Psycho one of them?
No. There was a new movie that we saw, Brittany, and it was about the alien, and there was no talking. It was just maybe a little bit of music.
What's it called?
Where we are, where they something.
You're talking about
The Quiet Place.
No.
That one.
You're talking about that movie we saw on Hulu.
Yes,
It was
my
called.
sister told us to watch. It was like an alien movie.
It was an awesome movie.
Let me just Google it.
What was it called?
My phone's gonna die.
Is it the charger?
It wasn't.
No one can see you, or no one sees you.
No one can save.
Oh.
No one can save you. Something like that.
And it was silent?
Yeah, there was no dialogue.
Interesting.
So
For a while, but then there was dialogue at some point of the movie, right? No? I mean,
Wow. I've never even heard of this one.
It was a good movie.
Bro, so how long does it take to finish a film? Like, what's the process?
Oh, that's a great question too. I'd say it really depends on the film.
no one will save you.
No one will save you.
That's what it's called.
Huh? I've never heard of that one.
It's an awesome movie.
Yeah. So in terms of the process, it depends. There's been times. Innsmouth took basically a year from writing to the premiere. But Mantipus, which I'm filming right now, we're going on year 5. Like that's been the longest shoot. Plus we're shooting on actual 16mm film, so that takes forever. But it's gonna be year 5, I think, next month. And worth it, but yeah. From I'd say 3 months has been like the quickest. Those were my earlier films. 3 months, and now I think a year is a pretty solid. I was happy with Innsmouth, and that took a year.
I love that one.
That's kind of what it looks like.
No one will save you, huh? Wow. 2023. Okay. Interesting. And it was aliens?
Horror, sci-fi. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, there was no talking.
But throughout
But
the
it
whole
was
movie?
good.
Throughout the whole movie, Asia?
Yeah. Yeah, because like she was like.
You know what? I think you're right.
Yeah.
And that movie was.
It was good.
That's even cooler that you don't even remember it being silent. Like you know what I mean? Like it affected you so well you didn't even realize that there wasn't words. That's cool.
It shows it all right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you teach any type of filming classes right now?
I funny enough, at the South Texas International Film Festival.
He's a professor.
He's a yeah, not gonna. But I am giving a lecture for anyone here in the Valley that is interested on Student Day. South Texas International Film Festival. They're having Student Day, and I'm giving a lecture on low budget filmmaking.
Oh wow,
nice.
that's awesome, dude.
Last semester, I was teaching philosophy and film at UTRGV. That was last semester for the college students. I'm not doing it this semester. I'm taking the semester off.
Are you
Yeah.
getting paid? I hope, man. I hope you get paid to do that.
But yeah, that was cool, and I really like talking film. I mean, with you guys, it's just been nice for film nerds and film lovers. I just love doing that. So yes, so I'm giving a lecture at the South Texas International Film Festival. Anyone in the Valley who's interested in seeing, should be a good time.
Yeah, give us the dates, bro. We'll plug that in.
For sure. Yes.
How did you start performing plays at UTRGV?
Oh, geez. Well, I always, since I was a kid, I was always doing theater as well as film. So I would do all the high school musicals and the high school plays. And it was my high school theater teacher, Tommy Green. Hello, Tommy. Mr. Green. I feels weird calling him Tommy. Mr. Green. And he was the first one to say, hey, why don't you direct a play on your own? I'm like, oh, snap. So I adapted this really terrible black and white monster movie called The Brain That Wouldn't Die. And it's about a girl who gets her head chopped off but her head is still alive, and the scientist keeps it alive in a pan.
Nice.
And so that was the play we did, was the brain that wouldn't die. And so I've been doing theater ever since, and made friends with some of the professors at the university and friends that are high school teachers. And a good buddy of mine, Marco Munoz, we went to high school together, and we wrote a play of Frankenstein that UTRGV ended up producing.
I've seen it on your Instagram.
Yeah, it was a good experience, and to have our script performed by a university, like a legit university. Is UTRGV legit? No. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh snap, this is, and to have it produced by them. I was in it too, which didn't hurt, but.
I think I've seen the Nutcracker over there when I was like in school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think our school took us when we were. I don't know if I was in elementary or middle school.
Were you traumatized by the Nutcracker?
No, it was beautiful.
See.
Yeah, it was nice. The ballerinas.
Yeah.
Just the classical music. It's nice.
Bro, so who's been your top actors and actresses that you've worked with throughout the years?
Asia Walters. Number one.
I'm flattered.
Yes. I meant number one worst. No, I'm
No.
I'm kidding. No, honestly, the cast for In Smith School for Girls was such a warm, all the ladies and that was such a warm memory. Like, I have nothing but good memories about that shoot. And they're all local actors, amateur actors, up and coming actresses. So that was a very nice shoot. And models, yeah.
Mamas.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a bad thing. I was also fortunate to all the old films that I like, the old Dracula films, the Frankenstein films. I got to befriend some of the actresses and actors that were in those films. They're older now; they're in their 80s, and I convinced a few of them to come out of retirement and be in one of my films. They're all British actresses, Martine Beswick, Caroline Munro, Veronica Carlson, and again, they're older now, but I got them to come out of retirement and be in one of my films, which was just a dream come true. And like, oh my gosh, I grew up watching you getting bit by Dracula, and now you're listening to me direct you. So that was a highlight. Careful with the wire, you're gonna knock it
down. I know, I like my big ass boot.
That's cool. But I think it's beautiful is how you make people feel when they come out in your film. Like, I'm pretty sure you coming out in the movie, like, you feel like, like it felt great to be part of that, right?
Star.
Yeah.
Well, that's a question I have for you, Asia. How was it like, being on set and then seeing it on the
It was a vibe. No, it was really cool. Like, I was nervous as hell.
Yeah.
And then I took my kids and then my husband, and then I don't know. I mean, it just being there and filming whatever parts I was a part of. Like, I didn't know like it was gonna look like come together the way it did. Like, it was really awesome. It was like, it just seemed like it was unreal for me, and when I saw it all put together, I was like, wow, that's why he takes the same takes at so many different angles,
like the puzzles came together.
Yeah, like, because we were working.
Yeah, oh yeah,
And
I
you
put you
had
guys to work.
feed us. I mean, it got hot sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, and we were there for hours. Like,
yeah,
and then you were like, again, and you're just angle, and I mean, it was really cool. I enjoyed it, and I kind of I would like to do it again. I mean, no rush, no pressure. I'm here.
Yes.
You got my number. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It was cool. I appreciate you even giving me a chance.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah, I think I think all of us in general, but I feel also people that are in the arts, a lot of them deal with their own, anxiety, depression, and all that. So when they're part of something like this, they get very inspired. You know what I mean? I've had artists where they have their down days, and then I tell them, hey, we're gonna do this, and boom, they're back into feeling motivated. So that's badass that you give them that platform to do that.
Well, thank you. Thanks.
So any upcoming projects, bro, that you wanna promote?
Well, hopefully by the end of the year, I would love by Halloween, Mantipus will be out and ready to be seen, ready to be absorbed by the masses.
Yeah.
Halloween or if by the end of the year. But that's the big one that I'm working on right now.
What about merch, films? Where can they buy your movies, websites?
You have it by my socials on the screen. Joshua Kennedy, Man of the Arts on Facebook. Joshua Kennedy 1964 on Instagram. Oldies.com has some of my older DVDs. And you can find me on YouTube. Even typing my most recent 3 or 4 films are on Amazon Prime. So if you just type in Joshua Kennedy on Amazon or...
Oh, so you got the movies on Prime already?
Yes.
That's amazing, bro.
Thanks. Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Go for it, bro.
What you got?
So Josh, what's your pet peeve while creating a film?
That's
So many.
Yeah.
Asia,
Here we go.
Asia, it's all her fault.
Or if there's even any.
Pet peeve. I would say a performer or anyone who comes on set unprepared or like doesn't know their lines, if there's lines, or just I'll make it even simpler. Bad energy coming in with just not like
maybe they're in a bad mood.
Or they're just like, this is stupid. Why are we even like not willing to get energy?
Not willing to contribute.
Yes. And it's like, God, when you have a whole, like, luckily all the ladies. Can you imagine if one lady was in the group shots was just like, this is stupid, fish people. Like, luckily everyone was in on it. It's like it's like, come on, everyone's into it. Get off your high horse and
get in character.
Or just have fun with it. Like, why are you just like, oh, this is beneath me. This is. I'm sure you've had that, Danny, with like some of your.
So let me ask you this, because I know I experienced this, but like starting in the film at the beginning, was it more of a challenge to get people to where you are now? Like, is it a lot easier to scout people than when you're barely starting?
Oh, good question. I've been very lucky that the people that I really started out with were family and friends and stuff, and then it became the actors in my high school or my middle school. Like, you want to be, so they're already weirdos to begin with. So all of the theater kids.
Shout out to the weirdos.
Yeah, shout out to the weirdos, to the nerds.
Yeah. You're like, you don't have to act, just be yourself.
Just
weirdo.
be yourself, exactly. Yeah. I'll write you in. Yeah. Great. So I was always lucky to there's a few where it's like, oh, this is dumb, this is beneath me. But there's been a good group of people that are just like, yeah, let's fucking throw an octopus on me. Let's I'm ready to get bitten by a vampire. You know what I mean?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Bro, so any shout outs? Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to Hi Kat, that's my sister. My sister works for NASA.
Awesome.
Nerd. No.
Is she really?
She does.
I think she looks like you.
That's what everyone says.
Yeah, I've seen her on your page, and I'm like, oh, that's
Josh.
awesome.
It's little cat. Yeah, little Josh.
She's been in your stuff, right?
Yes, she's been in. Lives in Houston now, so she's not in my more modern stuff. But
she really does work for NASA. Houston, Texas.
I'm telling you, she's over there throwing stuff into the sky.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So hi, Kat. I don't know if she'll listen to it. But
any advice to anyone starting in the film?
I would say, well, how did you get started, Danny? Like, just, I mean,
so with me, I started with just playing guitar, songwriting. Then I got bored of just, you could only get so far with songwriting and guitar, so I learned production.
Yeah.
Which I got inspired by Calvin Harris. I started just creating EDM music, and then after a while, I'm like, oh shit, I can actually do this. Started a band. I was with the band for about 1.5 years. Then from there, I realized that I don't want to be in a band. I wanted to be more the producer, the beat maker. Started recording like 20 artists. After a while, it wasn't very consistent on that. And then I just started doing podcasts. Podcast was what blew up for me. And then took a break from that. And then I started photography. And then from there, it just like, that shit really worked for me. So now I'm doing like a combination of both podcast and photography. and as a hobby, I do the music.
And-
But as far as advice, like to me, like I don't know, just love what you do. Like my thing is that I get bored real easily, so I always have to be doing something different. So right now I'm doing podcasts, and then later on I'm gonna be doing the photos or some nerdy ass shit. You know what I mean? But I'm always doing something. To me it's just knowledge is power. Keep burning your brain. Keep learning. Every day, like, and just apply it and on a daily basis and take it from there to see what works for you. That's my advice to that. But I want to know your advice.
Well, you took all the good stuff, so I'm done. No, I wanted to hear your thing because I think we're very similar in the way that so many people talk about making movies. Oh, I have this great idea for a movie. It's like, okay, let's hear it. And he's like, well, it's all in my head. It's like, how about you write it down? No, it's all in my head. And it's like, how about you start, doing something about it? And I mean, for those listening, I mean, me and Danny, we started off just picking up the camera and just doing it. I'm sure. I mean, was there anyone there teaching you, Danny, or
nah? I think a lot of people's kryptonite is they're perfectionists, so
yes,
they're afraid that it's not gonna come out perfect. But that's how you learn from it. You know what I mean? Like,
And
if you don't get the results, like
I always say the worst piece of crap movie that you've shot in your garage is a million times better than the perfect movie in your head. It's like, hey, you have something we can see.
Yeah.
And even if it's crappy and terrible and maybe no one will ever see it, and it's like you learn from it, and it's like, okay, maybe next time I'll hire an actor. Maybe the next time I'll use a tripod. Maybe next time you'll learn with each crappy movie you make.
It's like you keep progressing.
Yes, you're going to learn something every single time. And for those out there, I need to go to film school. No, just pick up your cell phone and start filming something on your phone. I hate to use the Nike slogan of just do it, but you kind of just have to do it. Just do it, and you're going to learn so much from your first really crappy movie. And then maybe after, 15 crappy movies, you'll make one good one.
Right.
So, yeah, you just got to go out there and do it.
bro. So I appreciate AJ for bringing you in. Like within the day that I saw your stuff, I became a huge fan. And I'm very. I appreciate a lot
More
of people.
like a stalker.
Yeah. No, but I always appreciate people that are in the movement. That are, like bringing in people and motivating them and helping them. You know what I mean? So I love what you're doing. I'm a big fan, and I'm here to help on anything that I can help from the stuff that I got. Right. So I do have some gifts. I'm gonna give you off camera, but one I'm gonna do on public is I know you like top hats.
Everybody loves
so pick a top hat that you like from the ones that I got.
Hell, what?
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh jeez, I don't know.
You can pick one off the camera if you want,
Oh,
but I'll let you choose one.
There's so many top hats up here, guys.
Yeah.
It's so kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a hat person, bro. I have the paperboy ones,
Oh my god,
caps.
you have more.
More than 10. There's like more than 10 up there.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, thank you.
But-
That's very kind of you.
Yeah, brother. But before ending, I know it's already on here, but where can people get a hold of you if they want to collab with you and follow your movement?
Sure. I'm on Facebook. Then I have my own page, Joshua Kennedy, Man of the Arts. And then Instagram was Joshua Kennedy 1964.
I believe you have a website too, right or no?
I have a website, but it's kind of under construction.
Okay. Okay. All right. Cool.
But yes, thank you so much,
Yeah,
guys.
brother.
This was so much fun.
Asia, any final words? You got anything?
Thank you, Josh. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Asia.
Brittany?
Yeah, man. Just thanks for coming out, dude.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Appreciate
All
it.
right,
Always
guys,
great
well,
hearing you.
Thank you for all your time, guys, and this is gonna be on all platforms. And thank you once again, brother, for coming through. And music, peace, and love, homies.
Thank you.
Peace.